Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. This week on the old Magic Roundabout, we've got something a little bit different. We've got a Britain's Toys motorbike. This is from the Britain's Road series, and the number, I believe, is 9687. Yeah, I've done a bit of research and I've come up with this number 9687, and it's the Honda Bentley, B-E-N-L-Y. This is what I think it is. I've had a look. It's very similar to the BMW, but I'm pretty sure this is the Honda Bentley. Mind you, there's probably some people out there who collect these, and they will correct me if I'm wrong. So, there you go. As you watch this go round, I'd just like to welcome all the friends of the channel back to this new video, and welcome any new friends and old friends alike. I hope you're enjoying your Christmas holiday break. So we'll get this off the Magic, get it on a bench and have a good look at it. See what we're dealing with, see what we've got to sort out. Okay then, here we go. Right, this came to me in a job lot, and I quite liked it actually. I thought, well, I don't normally do motorbikes. I'm not a motorbike fan, to be honest with you. I like to see a nice motorbike, but I've never been a big fan of like crutch rockets and things like that. I've never passed my test on a motorbike. I had a little moped once. I've been on the back of a couple of bikes, and that was bad enough. So anyway, I thought we'll do this one and have a look and see what we can come up with, make it look nice. It's only got one wheel, but what I've done here was I went and through my yesteryear's box, and I found what I think is near enough. The tyres aren't as big, but they do fit in quite nicely. And obviously I'll paint these silver, as they're supposed to be. So there you go. We're going to use those to replace that one and that one. It does come apart. I've had a little fiddle about with it. There's a pin there that holds the handlebars in. So I'm going to take that out. It's quite tiny, this. So it's got a bit of detail on there. Look, it's got the. I'm going to try and tease that out if I can without snapping it off. But they're both there. Throttle, brake, and whatever is there. So we'll drop that in there along with these two wheels. What else do we have? Oh yeah, seat comes off. I think, yeah, it's plastic in it, yeah. What I was looking at, I was trying, I got this to get it all apart. If I remember, yeah, there's a pin what holds the kickstand in. I'm going to take that out. I think it takes it out. I can't remember now. I'm just winging it at this point. Yeah, that's it. It does come out. There's the kickstand. There's one half of the exhaust, and there's the other half of the exhaust comes out. So that pin basically holds everything in place there. Okay. Alrighty. And then the front end just drops out. Okay. That goes in there, and that goes in that. That pin for the handlebars holds that in. So that comes out. Okay. And then the back wheel again is a knockout pin there. Just pull that pin out. Put that in there. Pull the back wheel out. That's out. And I think the seat just pulls up out there. The seat just pulls off. So really the only tricky bit is this bit here. Alright. But really that's not that bad, because that just sits in there like that, and it holds it in place. So there we go, there we have it. That didn't take long to strip, did it? It's not in bad. It's got a bit of corrosion around there. Once we strip the paint off, we might find there's a make a name on that on here. So we'll see. I think we're pretty safe to put this in the caustic. I'll hold on to it though with a pair of pliers so I can whip it out. Okay, so there we got it. So it's caustic soda time. Here we are then. Here's all the little old motorbike, the old Bentley. Stripped of its paint, came off quite easily. One or two bits in there not to dig out. But yeah, it's not too bad. You can make out the engine. Just starting to corrode a little bit around there. Yeah, so that's that bit. The exhausts all cleaned up. That's the front. I did dig the dual headlight out. I nearly forgot about it, to be honest with you. Like you do. There is a number plate on there. I think you can just make it out. Or some sort of word. And oh, it says England on there. Does it say England on there? I think so. Yeah. It says England on there. Alrighty. Handlebars. Go watch these. Very, very delicate. This one was bent, so I just managed to tease it out. I just don't go any more with it in case it snaps off. And the kickstart. So we're all done. So now I've got to try and find a way of sticking these on sticks. Probably a bit of super glue or something to stick them on while I paint them. So we're going to prime it. We're going to paint it. It's going to be red. I'm going to use the Mars red. Volkswagen Mars red, because that's a bright red, which for this would be. Okay, so I'm going to paint that in a bright red, and then we'll do all the details, because this part of the tank here was chromed. The side flashings were chromed, so we're going to do that. Okay, then we'll paint the engine and all the details after. So that will be red. This will be red. This will be, this is red. And we'll paint the details on that as well. Okay. Alrighty. All parts are painted now. Here we go. Nice bright red. This is the Volkswagen Mars red. Nice bright red for a little old motorbike. Celled handlebars. Painted up. And the front end. Here we go. And I've done the wheels and put the tyres back on. There you go. So that's that and that's that. What I've done with the exhausts is I've polished them up. That's what I've done with now. I thought, well, I'll just polish them up. Because it's going to be, I'm going to paint some parts silver and some parts of the Molotov. So we get a combination of bare metal shine, Molotov and silver. Oops. And I'll clean the old saddle. It's all cleaned up, so we're good to go. So, warm the old hands up because it's a bit cold. This is going to be a bit tricky to paint all that. So, I need, where's the black paint? Oh, there. I use this is what I use, the Rebel Aqua for the like blacks and stuff. It paints really nice with a brush. So, let's get cracking. Pick a brush, any brush. Get a decent one. Here somewhere. Let's have a look. What's this one like? Yeah, it's a bit big, that one. I want that one. Here we go. This one, I think. Yeah, that one will do. This one. The numbers are coming off it. It's 000. 000. So I'll do a bit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the engine first. It's a bit, it's not a great, how can I say, it's not a great casting of the engine. You can see some lines in it. I was going to do it black and then dry brush with silver, but to be honest with you, if you look closely, the only real bits you can is underneath there. Apart from that, it's all a little bit crap, really. So anyway, I'm getting near the end of the silver, so I'll just put some thinners in it and we'll see how we get on. So we're going to give it some silver. Yeah, unfortunately this casting's had a bit of a rough time in the play. I think where the casting lines of the fins for the engine and that were, they've gone a little bit flat. So we'll just do a bit on here. Like I say, when you're doing something like this, you don't want to overload your brush. Just enough to... Plus I put thinners in this, so it's thinned down a good bit. Because when you get near the bottom of the tin, you always end up with it wants thinning. So we're getting there with it. There you go. We'll do a bit up the top here as well. Or should we, now we'll go down below first. First time having a, I think, no, I did a motorbike before. It was a chopper, wasn't it? So this is the second motorbike I've done on here. The second one. I think by the time you see this video, Christmas will be over. And we start getting back to some normality. Well, I hope you all had a good Christmas. I know this is not like bang on or look at this great start to the year. It's just something nice and steady to do. Okay. So calm down, calm down. Just like to do something different. Now and again. To get in there. Getting all the little bits there, look. Actually, I'm actually doing this before Christmas. So, there you go. But you won't see it till after Christmas. There you go. Right, that's the engine done. I want to go and finish off whatever details I can find to do on this, and then we'll come back, and I would imagine, yep, it will be the assembly stage. Okay, so I'll let that dry off a little bit because I don't want to be touching it and get my fingers on that bit, because I'm liable to do that, grab hold of it there. Alrighty then, this is all the details are painted now. I went with the black engine in the end. I changed it from silver to black. I did a subtle bit of dry brushing on there, but it's not showing up great. I did the chrome work around the tank, and I've tried to, if I can keep it in focus, try to do the black pads on either side of the tank where your knees sit, and the badge is black with a white dot in the middle, supposed to represent Honda. It's got a number plate on the back. If I can focus, it won't focus because of my fingers, I think. Yeah, trying to do it the best I can. Yeah, but that's all painted. The front has got the dual headlight back in. Got the chrome pieces on the either side of there. So that's all painted. The handlebars, they're painted. They've got the grips on. If I sit it back here, you perhaps be able to see. They've got the grips on, and these ones add the indicator lights in the back end of the handle for the clutch and the brake. So they're in now as well. The same as what's on the back here. There's indicators there, and on that side there. All right. There's the exhaust I showed you before. I painted a bit of gunmetal on this side, so it's a bit of a contrast in colour. It's been sat for 3 or 4 days, this has. So some of the silver paint's gone, the shine's gone off a little bit. What I'm going to do is, when I've done it, I'm going to touch it up. So it's assembly time. So get the magic carpet out, and we'll get the bits on, and we'll get it together. Assembly time. Here we go. Right, let's try and get this back together. I think the best way to do it. I think we'll get the back wheel in first. Just push that in. We're going to put some super duper on there just to hold that in place when we're done. I think we'll put the kickstand and the exhaust in next. So we need to put, it goes that way, I think. Yeah, we'll sit that in there like so. Hold it in with your thumb or whatever. Maybe not. We'll put that in first. We'll put this long piece in there first, like so. That'll fit in nicely. There we go. Now we'll put, get it right away, because a little pin in there. We'll put that in. And then we'll put that in. Fairly sort of straightforward, this. Like so. Yeah. And then that will go, kickstand will go backwards and forwards, like it does. And what I'm going to do, just going to lift that. Just going to lift this out a second. All right. And I'm just going to put just a little drop of the whole super duper on there. All right. So this can stay in place when I get it on. Just a little bit fiddly. Just a little bit fiddly. There you go, that should hold it in place. In there. Okay, that's a kickstand. That's that. So we got that sorted. Back wheels fell out. Just a bit of patience. Put that back in. Like I say, it's a bit fiddly because it's all pins. I just need to get it just right. Right, okay, that's that. Let's push that down beyond that exhaust. That's in there, that's in there. We just drop a little bit of super duper on that. Just a bit. Okay. So we got there. Just give me a second to set that up. Let that dry a second and then we'll carry on. Right, moving on. Moving on, moving on, moving on. I think we'll stick the seat on next. Seat on. There you go. Right, this. Oh, I knew something was going to fall off. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's more like an Airfix kit now, isn't it? Here we go. It's all happening. What we need to do is put a bit more. I think it's this side here that needs to be. Because all the sanding and the cleaning has made the pipes a little bit on the loose side. Come on. Right, back on it again. Back on it. Right. Okay. So I'm going to stand there for a minute. Let's get the front wheel in. Yeah, it's a lot of fiddling. It's a lot of fiddling. But we'll get it. We'll get it in the end. Push that in. There you go. Now we're rocking and rolling. Get that round there. This fits in like so. Alright, I've hold that down like that. Alrighty. And this goes in the top. Now it's not the tightest of fits on this. So we get the right angle for it. It fits in there like that. Alright. So what we're going to do here, there's a little lump on the top of that tank. So what we're going to do is going to put a little bit of this on that top of that lump. Like that. Put this in there because there's a recess in this handlebar, and you can put it so it fits over that lump like so, and that will allow it to turn, but it won't allow it to stop it. Okay, so I know it's a bit of fiddling about, but me with my big fat fingers, it's not the easiest thing to, you know, get around. You got to sort of learn piano fingers really for jobs like this, and there's a lot of pins. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to let that glue dry, and I'm just going to touch up then foot pegs either side and have a look, see if anything else needs touching up. Then we get it on a magic roundabout and we'll see what we've done. This is what we started with. Britain's Road Series number 9687, and I believe it to be the Honda Bentley. So this is how it all started off. Now have a look, see how it ended up. Have a look at this. Here we go, have a look. Here we go then. Britain's Toys, Honda Bentley. All stripped, repainted, bits and bobs, got the dual headlight back in, got some extra details on it. It's the best that I could. I've got as many details, extra details on that wasn't on the original model. Chrome part of the tank, put the black knee pads on. Did all the indicators, stuck a number plate on the back, did the brake lever and clutch lever and the things. Got a couple of guys there taking pictures. Well, one is and one's not bothering at the minute. Perhaps they don't like it, I don't know. But yeah, there we go. The Honda Bentley by Britons. Yeah, got the seat all cleaned up. Well, that's another one bites the dust. So it's onwards and upwards to the next one. I hope you like this one. It's a little bit different. So I look forward to your comments on this one. If you want to see me do any more motorbikes, just leave it in the comments below and I'll see if I can get a few more motorbikes and do some. Okay. Right. Enjoy the rest of your holidays. And I'll see you next week with another resto. Bye for now. See you later. Here we go. Just one more quick look. And